So I had a problem. I got this really awesome 100 watt COB light. This package came with this battery, right? And when you dock it, even at 30% brightness, this thing only would last about an hour and 45 minutes, which is awesome for run and gun shoots, but when it comes to like event coverage, yeah, I needed something that lasts much longer. So my search for a perfect battery began, and these were the requirements. 1, it needed to be small and compact enough for airplane travel, and 2, it needed a really good secure mounting mechanism where if someone bumps the light stand, it's not gonna just pop out, and 3, it needed to be safe enough to use with all my video equipment. I mean, like, these are kind of expensive equipment, so it couldn't be just like random Chinese brand. I mean, technically most batteries are made in China, but it just couldn't be like random. Now, lucky for me, around the same time I was looking for the battery, SmallRig reached out to me, and we decided that maybe this could be that perfect battery. And this right here is the SmallRig VB155, which is 155 watt hour V-mount battery. So I had this battery for about a month or so, and I was able to test it out in several different shoots, including one of the longest reception I ever shot. But before we go over the test result, I want to share with you what this video is going to be about. Now, when it comes to ports, there are just slews of ports, and I'm going to only focus on one port, and that is going to be the special port right here. This is a 65 watt bi-directional USB-C port. I will briefly touch on the D-tap port that's over here. And in case you're new to the channel, my name is Say Park, and when I'm not making YouTube videos on my channels, I'm actually filming for Vu from MVU Films as a co-cinematographer, as he calls it. And we mainly film events such as weddings, and we always try to light up our reception. And these days, we're really trying to reduce the size of our gear, especially lighting, without sacrificing quality. So a versatile small compact light such as this was critical. So out of the box, the problem with this battery is that the battery level is indicated by these 4 dots, each of them representing 25%. But you can't tell if you have 49% battery or 26% battery sometimes. So Vu let me use this on a birthday shoot, and I have to tell you, I was constantly checking on the battery level because I wasn't sure when it was gonna die. And I did have this actually detached and linked via USB-C cable, but problem with that also is that I had a little phone holder for this mount, and although it was gap tated, I wasn't sure if someone bumped it was just gonna pop out. So the next event we were gonna film was gonna be in Sacramento. So first we have to actually fly there. We're from Washington DC area, and I'm gonna debunk this myth where you cannot fly with lithium-ion battery that's larger than 100 watt hour. So I did have to look it up, but there's a second category from 101 to 160 watt hour, which this thing falls under. So in US flights, you can carry up to 2 of these as a carry-on, long as the airline allows it, according to FAA that is. And most of the domestic flights in the US, we flew American at the time, and they allowed it. So even though this is 155 watt hour battery, look at the size of this thing. So you guys can't tell how big my hand is. I mean, who knows, I have giant hands. So let's compare it to something you're familiar with. This is an iPhone 13, not Pro Max, the regular iPhone 13. Look at the size difference. Yeah, this is a tiny little V-mount battery for 155 watt hour. So to meet the next requirement, I had to find the perfect mounting solution, which was easy to do because SmallRig also makes this V-mount clamp for your light stand. And this clamp is special because this rubber piece right here, yeah, this isn't just a rubber sticker. This is a adjustable rubber grommet that kind of conforms to the shape of your light stand. And this thing, once it's tightened up, yeah, it ain't going nowhere. And of course, you guys know the V-mount locking mechanism. Once you dock this, yeah, unless you press this safety mechanism, this is also going nowhere. So when Vu and I arrived at the Sacramento venue, this worked out perfectly because I'm in charge of setting up the third light, which is the backlight, and there was no wall plug anywhere nearby, which was fine because this was so quick to just set up and mount the battery on. And I felt good about it because I mounted this pretty low to the ground, so it's at the bottom of the light stand, so it felt like a little mini sandbag that's just pressing down the whole light stand. So I mentioned that this was one of the longest reception we filmed, so this was a 7-hour reception. Yeah. So to prepare for that, I did test this at home first. So I set this light at 50% brightness and connected via USB-C port, and that lasted 2 hours and 49 minutes. Now I picked 50% because I didn't think I would ever go above that, and this is a very, very bright light, which is one of the reasons why I'm okay with this battery not being able to power this at 100%, and 65% is the max it will go, obviously, because that port right there is a 65 out, and it does detect protected as PD65 here. So for this particular venue, I found that 27% was the ideal brightness as a backlight. Now keep in mind that I did turn off the light whenever possible via Bluetooth app. So when we're eating dinner or filming outside during a sunset portrait shoot, I did turn the light off. So out of the 7 hour, I would say the light was constantly on for about 4.5 hours. So we started at 98% when we first set up the light, and at the end of the night, this thing was reading at 7% battery level. And I have to tell you guys, this little OLED screen, when you press the power button once, it does turn on. So it's reading 73% right now, and you can see that clearly, and it's accurate. When this thing reads 1% to 0%, it means it. So there's no turning off all of a sudden at like 10%. My only thing with this, when the devices are connected, all the fonts are tiny. So it's got useful information such as the actual voltage going through each of the ports and the percentage of the whole battery, but the fonts are small for my eyes. I don't know. I'm getting old, guys. Like, I can't see very well, so I wish it was a little bit bigger. But now that I've been using this battery for a month, I trust that battery reading level. So other than lights and filming gear, I do power something that's pretty unique. So I recently got a new PC. Yeah, this thing is very power hungry. So it's giant, and the power supply is also giant. So I like to bring something like this. And this being 155 watt hour, which is bigger than the internal battery that's on my PC. So it basically doubles my PC battery. The 65 watt hour USB-C connection goes straight into the back of my laptop, and it does take advantage of that full power. Now I know some people in the comments gonna probably ask me about this port right here. So this D-tap port is 14.8 volt, and I did purchase this one adapter that's going from D-tap to DC power. So this DC port is pretty special. This right here is a 24 volt DC input port, so it did not work for me. Again, I wasn't really looking for that solution because I think USB-C port is the perfect solution for me, but I know you're gonna ask, so there you go. So although I love this battery and I would highly recommend this for anybody who's looking for a nice quality V-mount battery, I can't really recommend this for everyone. And the reason being is the full price on this is $380 when it's not on sale. Now I did see one sale for like $320 recently, so I'll link it in the description below so you can check it out. The reason why this costs so much is that this comes with plenty of protections. There's so many protection, I'm just gonna list them all here, but there's just like 6 of them. And this does make sense. When I went to NAB working at the Zhiyun booth, talking to people who purchased this, there were some people who zapped this device using the wrong battery. And if you see the comment section on the review video I posted about this light, there was somebody who also zapped this light using some cheap 100 watt battery. So even though it's 100 watt battery, if it doesn't have that over voltage protection, it can zap this device. So I believe one wise man said, when it comes to protection, you get what you pay for. So on that happy ending, I will end this video. Till next time, guys, stay protected.